Yo, keep it old school, outspoken. Raise up or lay up. Either way the game play us. Leave fantasy trade us. They lame goofies who hate us. Could we come with no Edison? They let us in, no lay us. Pole blocks where we came up. Me one half of the Wi-Fi. Cloud now, I'm way up. This rap shit's no brainer. I'm using about 0.5% of my cranium to demonstrate how to leave your essence on the record. Applying pressure to these youngins that don't know no better. Better get in tune like Vorsavelis in a setting where weapons could draw. They swear they had his car, but they ain't know the cops was involved. They swear that cop and weight was the only way they could solve their problems. Cause the border air's not putting money in their pockets. And mama's eyes keep on rolling to the back of her sockets. Rocket high, this ain't rocket science. Just to state the color people's times. I'm here to wake their minds, unlike other people's rhymes. Genetic make us divine.
You shine, I shine. Us is family, different stars, same canopy. Candidly cut off all cancer, like an amputee. Blueprint, then achieve goals. Never randomly react, off emotional. Uselessly branded sheep. I root purpose, service to earth's surface with divine life circus. Unlike ocean clowns, it's a brute circus. Curtis may feel a pop fly, but can't catch a home run or stop an IBI, son. It's up to us on how far we fly, create value, see opportunity, starry eyed, deliberate steps, decides the endeavor, success, investors and try to reduce our worth plus yes. Competitors will attempt to upset us. Guess what? Our passions and resources areas they can't assess. Yeah, you can attest. Our skills are the alpha. Gang little raps was like spanking in alfalfa. We are the alpha and omega from the bodega in Brownsville to the south side of Chi-Town of the sound real. We take necessary action, make things happen efficiently. Proficiency comes through practice. Sufficiently begun through you bats. Still blue ratchets relentlessly, endlessly produce true asses. Living mathematics subtracts liability. We never die. We multiply. Try killing the T for me. Is it justice or just dice? Just man or just mice? Cold crushes and crushed ice. Enough shit then flush twice. You sniff strips of puff spice to uplift your tough dice, but trip although I'm what's nice. You just nuts, I'm just nice. It's fate for all to separate for water. Reference for royal, let's legislate the order. For the authentic adult, yes, I support your righteous endeavor. Sever ties with the Pope. Look around, it's like the night of the living dead. Jesus Christ, I'm the light slash the living bread. Trust is the queen mother with my son and I. Plus, death the rats and lame cats. Why? Cause it's just us.
Yo, keep it old school, outspoken.
Us family. And they don't stop and they don't quit. We gonna keep rocking on. Shema'at Hotep, Ralut, Halito, Shalom. As I am accustomed to doing, I like to first begin by giving all praises to the Most High, Neb Shirt, in the personification of Amun Ra. Secondly, I like to give all honor and respect to our illustrious ancestors and our elders. In continuation, I like to salute my parents, and I give this salute in admiration of their ongoing life here in the earthly plane. still active in the struggle, doing what they have to do as parents, and ensuring that agreeable energy is being released into the atmosphere. I like to give my undying adoration and love to my beautiful darling, goddess wife, Sharice, my strength, my support, my heart, to my sons, Samuel, Latif, and Shelton, my protection and my hugs of security and warmth to my sisters, my nieces, my nephew. I also want to ensure that every ounce of my being is also being given to my aunts, my uncles, and an endless plethora of cousins that I have, that I spread out all across the land. I love you all, and if it was not for you, I wouldn't be who I am today. Before I get off into the fifth scroll, first of all, let me do this. Let me welcome you all to yet another episode of Letters from My Dad. This is the fifth video. I've been kind of out the way for us a minute, kind of striving to get my priorities together, life outside of social media. So I had to kind of fit this into my schedule. Momentarily, I haven't been to work a couple of days. Personal issue. Get ready to make sure that's taken care of. So I do have time on my hands to put the video together. So I want to thank you all for rocking with me. So now, before I actually get off into the reading, I also, as always, part of my introduction, I want to make sure that a big up is given to all the indigenous indigo inhabitants of the planet Earth, all the divine, all the blue black aboriginals who on a constant basis is putting forth the greatest of efforts to raise the modes of consciousness of our people, while at the same time fighting to acquire our liberation and our coronation back upon our birth rightful thrones of governance. As you all know, how the story has been told to us, it never really happened that way. We've been here forever, and we're not going nowhere. So when it's all said and done, once again, we will be who we are. And that is the goddess and God of the universe. So now, for y'all who just now checking my little station out, mind you, I ain't got a whole bunch of viewers and all that stuff. I mean, I just really started this endeavor. I figure I share some of the letters that I received from
my father while I was incarcerated. I was released from prison back in July after doing pretty much 25 years inside these dismal crypts. Um, my support system was a strong one. All the way around the board, they are the reason why I was able to persevere and finally make it out the belly of the beast in one piece. One of the largest components to that was of course, the prayers from all my loved ones, those who really have a genuine love for me, and the multitude of correspondence that I received. My dad, even like when I was a shorty, always had these profound conversations with me. He always attempted to make sure that I was prepared for the reality of things. He did the best that he could and as he saw fit with what he had. And I commend him for doing that. And with that being said, I now commemorate him. Although, mind you, he is still here in the flesh. He's known in most of the circles as Tahuti Tahotep. But I'm doing this in honors of him. I'm sharing some of his words of wisdom with you all in confidence that at least one individual can grasp something that'll aid and assist that particular individual into bettering his or herself. So without further ado, also song at the beginning of the video, another joint by my son Latif and I. Name of that joint was Just Us. Pretty nice little piece. I enjoy working with my son. Can't wait to do some more stuff with him. I think he's very, very, very gifted with what he do. As a matter of fact, I have to spread that accolade amongst all my sons. All my sons are pretty much geniuses in their own right. They're good at what they do. One thing I can say about all of them, even though and as all us young black males once did, the knucklehead road, this, that, and third. They went through that phase, but fortunately, they didn't have to experience what I experienced, or worse. And they are in the process in their personal lives to better themselves, place themselves in a better position, so that they can experience success and prosperity. So me being their dad, I'm doing what I can to ensure that does succeed. Unfortunately, I was unable to be in their lives because on a physical basis because of my prior circumstance, being incarcerated, things of that nature. Nonetheless, they have grown to be some good men, and I am grateful. I'm grateful for that. So anyhow, we get off into the reading of Scroll 5. This is another episode in my series, Letters from My Dad. Go ahead and get this thing started, okay? All right. So this piece was written April the 17th in 2007. It says, in the name of the Most High, creator of us all, I greet you, my son, Shem Ma'at Hotep, Shalom. First off, my letter writing has diminished simply because I can never get used to these strange creatures monitoring and analyzing my thoughts. Privacy is a sacred thing which doesn't faze them when they routinely violate it. They seem to get some kind of morbid glee, some unnatural satisfaction in eavesdropping and invading other people's private affairs. One thing I know they will never learn is that by illegally reading or listening to other people's conversations, they will never get the true contexts of the communication. They get it the wrong way and they will receive the wrong understanding of it. I must say that Stolen Thoughts has to be listed with the long list of ill-gotten gains credited to the unnatural behavior of these strange creatures. That aside, I will relieve your concerns about our well-being by saying we are maintaining and doing as well as can be expected under the present circumstances. Please excuse me if I sound as though our situation has any comparison to that inhumane existence in which you have been unjustly subjected. I know being out here is heaven compared to that hell, but things out here are changing fast. Surveillance is everywhere. Phones are tapped, cameras on intersections and in certain neighborhoods, satellites, planes, and helicopters watching whole cities, and neighbors are asked to watch each other's actions, cameras in the stores and the workplaces, listening devices and homing bugs in autos, buses, and trains. And God knows what other devilish methods these strange creatures are using to collect and store in computers information on everyone. Wow. Remember what we used to say when we fell asleep watching TV? Instead of us watching TV, the TV was watching us. I never thought that the TV watching us part would literally become a fact. Well, I don't put anything outside the possible tactics of a strange creature's quest to hear, see, and know everything about everybody. Watching you even when you're asleep. Wow, that's deep. The present attempt by the strange creatures to incarcerate and lock down America and the rest of the known world is going strong, but according to prophecy, they will fail miserably and the captives or victims will be set free. Out here, fear is widespread. The fear of terrorist attacks has contaminated the population like a disease. So they quickly, voluntarily give up their freedoms of speech, liberty to travel, and right to privacy in exchange for so-called protection from harm by these imagined enemies. The people have no enemy until the strange creatures make enemies for them. Through the fear of what might happen is how these strange creatures are being allowed to break the laws of right to privacy, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. This fear of imagined harm has caused a huge increase of incarcerations of mostly indigenous peoples all over the planet. Why do I call them strange creatures? It is because if he declares war on drugs, guns, terror, poverty, dis-ease, violence, slavery, robbery, theft, murder, rape, child abuse, wife beating, homosexuality, abortion, pornography, pollution, overpopulation, destruction, and death, he's declared war on himself. That's the character of his so-called democracy, which he has sworn to defend against any and all. His culture of a free and wide open society, devoid of morality. Everybody doing what's right in their own eyes. These strange creatures murder, rape, rob, drug deal, demoralize, and then incarcerate more of its own society than any other society today, and most all past societies combined. You are strange if you feel comfortable profiting on death, dis-ease, and destruction of human life. You are strange if you are entertained by the suffering and mutilation of human flesh. You are strange if you feel heroic, conquering honest, peaceful people with lies, tricks, deceit as weapons. You are strange if you feel proud of bombing, gassing, shooting, killing, and maiming defenseless people into submission. It's strange to boast of these illegitimate ways to accomplish wealth, power, and supremacy over others. They feel elated by the ongoing genocide they are conducting on honest, decent people, loving peoples, that is, even now. Yes, they are strange indeed. These strange creatures are the aliens everyone expected to come in flying saucers, but were here among us all along. Oh, but we have a champion in our midst who has already defeated these aliens. This champion is with us now, in our houses, tents, or cells, behind our doors, gates, or bars. Our champion is the son of Wuman, son from the earth, whose father is the Son, who is the truth. What is the truth? The truth is reality. What is reality? Reality is the truth. The truth which dwells in the consciousness of all honest, dignified peoples who does unto others as he or she would have done unto themselves according to divine law, or ma'at. The truth which dwells in the spirit of righteousness, justice, and liberty. The truth which dwells in equality, respect, and love of the sanctity of human and all other life. This is the truth that has already made us free because we know it like the sun. And like the sun, we are free to shine and complete each day, each month, each year, our rising and setting. Just to rise yet again. As we approach the dawn, no creature of the night can hold back the light of the sun. We are that light, and our truth spoken to evil power are the first rays of the dawn. So be encouraged. Give my greetings and blessings to the brotherhood, peace, justice, and equality, whose rays we see and hear, not to fear. Love, peace, and prosperity, my son, your friend, brother, and dad. Shema'at Hotep, Shalom. Tahuti, Anita Hotep. Man, so if you do not mind, permit me to build for a spell or two. So, strange creatures. So now when you think about it, the story that we have been told about ourselves, to want to distort, pervert, plagiarize, and or even just replace our story is the act of someone who is indeed strange. To want to be aware of everybody's thoughts, what they're doing at every second of the day is indeed strange. For even when you pay attention to nature, everything in nature has its time when it is actually seen, and then it makes its way back into its abode of rest, where it doesn't want to be seen anymore. We all know and understand that we living in a time where that which is right is wrong, and that which is wrong is now right. Some call it situation ethics. And there's a variety of different terms to describe how things are in this day and time. Fortunately, as my dad was just speaking on, that light. See, that light is what we call awareness. It is most definitely an awakening transpiring. And I am grateful that I have had the opportunity to be out here at this time to really see this awakening happen. I'm not really an adept when it comes to this social media thing. I don't really know how to navigate through it just quite yet or what have you. Nonetheless, I be tuning in to certain individuals and their posts and stuff like that, and I had to say, like, for the most part, I mean, I see a whole bunch of trash, a whole bunch of garbage on there. To each his own. That's what junk food is. What you feed yourself, then this is what you regurgitate. Hey, it's on you. But I'm speaking on the individuals who I I like that term they've been using. I've been seeing quite frequent now. Soul tribe. So the individuals I've been seeing, they've been posting some pretty profound pieces, and from what I can gather, anybody who happens to stroll down like either Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, and they happen to run across these pieces, and they take the initiative or the time out to actually read them, it does spark at least some curiosity in them, and that in itself is a level or a degree of awakening or becoming aware. When it comes to the process of our restoration, the most important thing to start off with is education. We have to educate ourselves. We have to educate our children, especially our children. Our people in general have been miseducated for close to 6,000, 7,000 years now. And in order for us to alleviate ourselves of this strange creature, we have to know who we are. Now, even in these circles of consciousness, there's a lot of back and forth going on as far as what terms to use to describe who we are, this, that, and third, right? Things about, according to the law, y'all know the spirit, y'all know what it is. But when it's all said and done, even with that, we still gotta look past that, because when you're dealing in that particular realm, you are still striving to fight this strange creature with his methods. For you all who know the story of Set and his nephew Haru, one of the reasons why Haru on a constant basis never triumphed over his uncle was because every time he went to address his uncle, he would bring the same energy that empowered his uncle, until he was sat down by an ancient wise one by the name of Tahuti, who gave him the key on how to defeat Set and ascend upon his birthright throne. Now, some people will try to use that analogy and say, yeah, that's why we utilizing the law. But see, the law that they were using, it was not man law. It was divine law and order. It was a law that supersedes man's law. See, man's law, when you actually do the analysis to it, with mankind's law, that is, it is structured to manipulate. It is structured to keep you confused, because they're utilizing words that in normal routine mean one thing, but yet in a quote court of law mean another. So it kind of confuses the average Joe or Joanne. Yeah, I ain't really trying to take up too much of your time. Just like to say thank you once again for rocking with me. As you all can see, I got me a better little setup now. Striving to educate myself. I'm still I'm a student in this thing that we call the science of life. I strive on a daily basis to delve as deep as I can into spirituality of my soul. Um, Striving to make manifest my desired results by utilizing the sciences, things of that nature, you know. So with that being said, family, please enjoy the rest of your evening. If you have not done so yet, subscribe to my channel. You can feel free to reply. You can, if you want to critique it, or if you want to share with me what you think that I can do to make my presentation better. Debates and things of that nature. I'm not into that. You know, I leave that for the great debaters. Those who, you know what I'm saying. I don't profess to know everything. I really don't know nothing. That's why I'm studying. You feel so. You know, for all you brothers and you sisters that's out there, that's pushing forward, bringing that desirable, that agreeable energy. Hey, please keep on doing it. I love it. I'm feeding off of it. You know, it is all about raising the modes of consciousness of our people. That is what education really is about. It's about drawing out the greatest potential within you. That's pretty much why it's essential and has always been inscribed on our great temples and halls as far as knowing thyself. You dig? So with that being said, hey, once again, thank you for rocking with me. Y'all be blessed. Continue to shine. Shema Ad Hotep, Ralu, Alito, Ashe.